Hope you're doing great and that your heart is filled with peace and love today. Now let's talk about something really important, something that deep down we all need: peace. We often give our loved ones many gifts, material gifts, emotional ones too. We give them respect, honor, admiration, and love. But there's one gift that stands out, one that hits deep and is truly invaluable: peace. Everybody needs peace, especially in tough times. When things get chaotic, when life feels like it's throwing us curveballs, peace is exactly what we crave. Imagine if your loved ones are struggling, feeling overwhelmed, unable to cope. If you're there, offering a shoulder to lean on, lending an ear to listen, and giving words of encouragement, that's priceless. But the most precious thing you can give is your peaceful energy. Peace isn't just something we feel ourselves, it's something that radiates from us to others. When you are with your loved ones, just being there with your calm, you can help them heal. It's not always about fixing things, it's about helping them tap into their own peace within. When you're in their presence and you're giving off this peaceful energy, you help them find their balance too. Sometimes, though, we think that our loved ones don't need that peaceful energy. They might ask for other things, material things, status, or big goals that we can chase after with them. And sure, these things can feel good for a moment, but they're fleeting. That moment of triumph, it fades. It leaves behind longing, regret, and even addiction. The real treasure, though, lies in finding peace within. That's where happiness truly lives. When we're at peace inside, the material desires, those wants and needs, start to drop away. The greed, the anger, the defensive reactions we usually have to things that go wrong, they start to transform. And all that's left is a calm, relaxed heart, able to find joy in the simplest things, in the people around us, in the world itself. Happiness isn't built on possessions or achievements, it's rooted in peace. And in Buddhism, we often hear, when there is peace, there is happiness. You can't have true happiness without peace in your heart. If your heart is still full of greed, anger, past wounds, and negative energy, no matter how much you have or achieve, happiness will slip right through your fingers. If you've been around long enough, you'll realize that when we let go of our attachments and calm down, when we silence our ego and the voices telling us to keep striving, what remains is something pure: peace. When we truly have peace within, we look at the world differently. We can accept others, we can connect, we can give love without any need for anything in return. Peace is the foundation of happiness, and that's the only thing we can give our loved ones: peace. Because real happiness, that's something only they can create for themselves. But we can help by offering the most important ingredient: peace. The real challenge is in creating that peace. We can't just expect our loved ones to feel calm and centered without some effort. That's where we, as their family, come in. Sometimes, they can't do it alone. They might be overwhelmed by life's pressure or carrying too many wounds. That's when we need to step in. It's our job to help them find peace. Of course, they have to take responsibility for their own peace too. But let's be real, life's pressures can get overwhelming. They can get lost in it all, and that's when they need us. If we can't offer them peace, if we can't help them create peace within themselves, then we haven't truly fulfilled our role as their loved ones. To bring peace into our lives, we have to work on it. It's not something that just falls into our laps. We need to take time for ourselves, work on our inner peace, cleanse our minds, and quiet the noise around us. It takes effort, and yes, sometimes it's a struggle. We might need to face discomfort, even sacrifice. But that effort, it pays off. When we have true, continuous peace inside, our energy will naturally help those around us find their own peace too. We can't just be people who bring convenience or material things into our loved ones' lives. We can't just be the ones who give them status, power, or temporary pleasure. Because when they're struggling, when their hearts are in turmoil, none of those things will help. But our peaceful energy, that's the anchor they need. It's the gift that can help them transform their own turmoil into calm. The world is unpredictable right now. With pandemics, wars, and conflicts all around us, peace has never been more important. We've lost so many valuable things, and people are struggling to hold on to hope. They've lost trust in the world, in society, and even in their loved ones. In times like these, those who can offer peace are the ones who become the true treasures. Maybe, in the past, we underestimated the value of peace. Maybe we thought of it as a luxury, something distant or unattainable. But the pandemic opened our eyes. We saw that peace is not just a nice to have, it's essential. It's what we need every moment of every day. So here's a thought. The greatest gift we could ever give to our loved ones is the ability to help them create peace within themselves. Instead of always relying on us for it, they need to learn how to find peace on their own too. The best thing we can do for our loved ones is help them reconnect with themselves, to nurture their own well-being, to bring their mind and body together. Because when they understand how to tap into that peace, they'll carry it with them wherever they go. The key to peace isn't about being perfect or always feeling good. It's about knowing how to handle the messiness of life. It's about having tools to manage when things don't go the way we want. And one of the most powerful tools we have is meditation. Meditation is hands down one of the most effective ways to find peace, especially when the world feels like it's spinning out of control. It helps us reconnect with our inner selves, calm our thoughts, and center our emotions. When we meditate, we create a space where we can just be without all the noise, the stress, and the pressure. Now, this doesn't mean we need to sit in a lotus position for hours or become monks. Meditation can be simple. Just a few minutes a day of sitting quietly, breathing deeply, and letting go of the clutter in our minds can work wonders. It's about giving ourselves permission to slow down, to listen to our thoughts, and to let go of everything else for a little while. And here's the thing. When we practice meditation regularly, we not only benefit ourselves, but we also create a ripple effect that impacts everyone around us. Imagine you're sitting there in your peaceful space, calm and centered. That energy is tangible. It's felt by those in your environment. Your family, your friends, your coworkers, they can all pick up on it. That's why when we talk about giving peace to others, meditation is one of the most generous things we can offer. But it's not just about sitting quietly. Meditation also teaches us how to observe ourselves without judgment. It helps us recognize when we're getting caught up in emotions or reacting to situations without thinking. And that's crucial when it comes to creating lasting peace. In our busy lives, it's so easy to get swept up in the chaos. We get overwhelmed by tasks, by expectations, by our own internal chatter. Meditation helps us step back, take a breath, and reset. It's a way to quiet the mind, calm the heart, and create a peaceful space inside ourselves. When we take the time to meditate, we're not just doing it for ourselves. We're doing it for those we love too. We're showing up as a source of calm, as someone who can be relied upon for peace. And that's incredibly powerful, because when our loved ones see us radiating that peace, it gives them permission to do the same. But let's face it, sometimes it's not easy to stay calm. Life can be tough. We all face challenges, and sometimes those challenges hit us hard. When the stress piles up, it feels almost impossible to stay centered. But here's the truth. No one is perfect. We all get caught in our emotions. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to learn how to get back to peace, even when we're feeling lost or overwhelmed. And one of the best ways to do that is by being present. Staying present, living in the moment, can help us break free from the cycle of worry and anxiety. When we focus on what's happening right now, rather than what happened in the past or what might happen in the future, we create space for peace to emerge. It's so easy to let our minds spiral into negativity, right? We replay past mistakes, we worry about future problems, and we forget that the only thing we truly have control over is the present moment. So when we teach ourselves to be present, we're teaching ourselves to stay grounded, to be at peace with what is. Being present also means being aware of our emotions. It's about checking in with ourselves and noticing what's going on inside. Are we stressed? Are we frustrated? Are we anxious? The more we practice this awareness, the better we get at catching ourselves before we get swept away by our emotions. And when we can recognize what's going on inside, we can choose how we respond. We don't have to react automatically to everything that triggers us. Instead, we can pause, take a breath, and decide how we want to respond in a way that brings us back to peace. That's the real power of mindfulness. Now here's the thing. We can't always be the ones to fix everything for our loved ones. We can't always swoop in and make everything better. Sometimes they need to do the work themselves. But when we share these practices with them, whether it's meditation, mindfulness, or simply being present with them, we're giving them the tools to create their own peace. We're teaching them how to navigate life with calm, no matter what challenges come their way. Think about it. The world around us is chaotic. There are constant distractions, constant demands, and constant stress. But if we can help our loved ones find peace within themselves, we're helping them build resilience. We're teaching them how to handle whatever comes their way without losing their inner calm. And that's what we all need right now. We need people who can help create peace in their own hearts and radiate that peace to others. Because when we're all walking around in a state of calm, we create a peaceful world. It's like this. We're all connected. We're all influencing each other, whether we realize it or not. And when we choose to cultivate peace within ourselves, we're not just helping ourselves, we're helping everyone around us. We're building a community of calm, of love, and of peace. So the next time life gets chaotic, or when you feel like you're losing your center, remember, peace is always within you. It's not something you have to chase outside yourself. You can create it anytime, anywhere, by simply returning to the present moment and breathing through whatever is going on inside. And if we can learn how to do this for ourselves, we can pass that peace along to others. Imagine what that could do for your loved ones, your community, and even the world. Imagine if we all had the ability to create peace in the midst of the storm. The power of peace isn't just something we can experience for ourselves. It's a gift that, when shared, can create profound changes in the lives of others. And right now in the world we live in, that power has never been more crucial. Our world is full of noise, chaos, and constant upheaval. People are stressed, uncertain, and struggling to find stability. In times like these, peace is the most valuable thing we can offer. We all know that life isn't always easy. Sometimes it feels like everything is falling apart and we can't see our way through. But that's exactly why peace is so important. Peace doesn't just help us feel better in the moment. It helps us navigate through tough times with clarity and strength. It gives us the courage to face challenges without losing ourselves in the process. When we bring peace to our relationships, we create a safe space where people can open up, heal, and grow. And as we share this peace, it spreads. It's like dropping a pebble into a pond. The ripple effects go far beyond what we can see. You never know who might need that peaceful energy, who might be lifted up by your calm presence. The more we can spread peace, the more it grows. But here's the thing, peace isn't just something we give to others. It's something we must cultivate within ourselves first. If we don't have peace within, we can't share it with anyone else. It starts with us. That's why we have to prioritize our own well-being. We have to take the time to nurture our minds, bodies, and souls. We need to be intentional about creating peace in our own hearts so that we can pass it along to others. Self-care is key to maintaining that inner peace. This isn't about being selfish or putting ourselves above others. It's about recharging so that we can show up as the best version of ourselves for the people we love. When we take care of ourselves, when we find balance and calm, we become a beacon of light for those around us. We become someone who can support others when they need it most. But self-care isn't always easy. Sometimes it feels like there's never enough time or energy to focus on ourselves. We get caught up in responsibilities, in taking care of others, and in meeting deadlines. But the truth is, we can't pour from an empty cup. If we don't prioritize our own peace, we'll quickly run out of energy to help others. That's why it's so important to create space for ourselves. Whether it's through meditation, exercise, or simply taking a break to do something we enjoy, we have to make peace a priority. And when we do, we not only improve our own lives, but we also enhance the lives of those around us. Now you might be wondering, how can we help our loved ones find peace if they're too caught up in their own struggles? It's a tough question, but the answer lies in leading by example. When we show up as peaceful, calm individuals, we set the tone for those around us. Our energy speaks louder than words. We don't have to preach or lecture. We just have to be the living embodiment of peace. When we're grounded in our own peace, our loved ones will naturally be drawn to that energy. They'll want to know how we do it, how we manage to stay calm in the chaos. And that's when we can step in and offer guidance. We can share the practices, the tools, and the techniques that help us find peace. One of the most powerful things we can do is to teach our loved ones to turn inward. In today's world, we're constantly looking outside of ourselves for answers. We turn to social media, to others, to external sources for validation, for direction. But the truth is, everything we need to find peace is already within us. We just have to learn how to access it. By helping our loved ones connect with their inner selves, we're giving them the greatest gift, the ability to find peace in any situation. When they learn to tune into their own energy, to listen to their bodies and hearts, they can tap into a deep well of calm and strength that will carry them through even the toughest times. It's not always about solving problems for them or making everything better. Sometimes, the best thing we can do is to simply create space for them to be still. When we give them the room to reflect, to breathe, and to process their emotions, they can begin to heal. And in that healing, they'll find peace. But we have to remember, peace isn't a one-time fix. It's a practice. It's something we have to keep working at every single day. It's about showing up for ourselves and for others, even when it's hard. It's about choosing peace over and over again, even when life tries to pull us in a million different directions. And when we do, the benefits are immeasurable. Not only will we create peace within ourselves, but we'll also be a source of peace for the people we love. We'll become the calm in the storm, the safe haven they can turn to when the world gets overwhelming. In the end, peace is what makes life worth living. It's the foundation for happiness, for love, and for connection. Without it, everything else falls apart. But with it, everything falls into place. So let's commit to being the creators of peace for ourselves and for those we love. Let's make it our mission to cultivate peace in our hearts and spread it out into the world. Because when we do, we're not just changing our lives, we're changing the lives of everyone we touch. And remember, peace isn't something we have to chase. It's always there within us. We just have to make the time and space to tap into it. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this message brings you a sense of peace, and I hope you take it with you as you move through your day, your week, your life. Remember, when we choose peace, we choose happiness. And that's something the world can never have enough of.